Hey everyone, in this video I want to show you a new technique I learned when I drew this picture. It's called blending with strokes, and all of the shading is done without blending, without smudging, and I thought it was really cool. It's not really photorealistic. You can still see the in each individual stroke that I've done, but it does have a different kind of feel to it, and I really enjoy drawing it, and so I thought I would do a little simple video tutorial on how I drew this picture. This is the original. This is a quick sketch of the face, so you can see how I did it. To start off with, well, I'm using a 2B pencil. You can use an HB, but well, this sort of works better for this picture. So to start off with, you want to just sort of find the main areas of shadow, and you want to use the side of your pencil. You can do it really lightly, and it doesn't have to be, you know, perfect. You don't have to worry about staying in the lines, you know. This first stage really isn't about detail. It's just about dividing the face into, you know, the shadow and the light areas. So that's what you should focus on here. So it's something super simple like this. I'm pretty sure you can see that all the strokes are just very messy, and that's the way it should be when you start off with this. Okay, so there, that's the first stage. You've divided the picture into its main components. You have the shadow and you have the light, and it's just those two tones there. Okay, so for stage 2, right now we only have shadow and light, but now we're going to add another tone. We're going to add the halftones into the drawing, and for that I use a 2B, and I also use an HB pencil as well, whichever one you prefer. You can see what works for you. So in this stage, we're going to darken the shadows that we have already drawn, and we're also going to add some halftones. So you'll have a bit of a gradation there, from the light to the darkness, from the light to the shadows. Like that. At this stage 2, you really don't have to worry too much about detail. It's just important to put in the halftones. That's what we're focusing on here. And what I like about this is that you can be, you know, you don't have to worry too much about details until later on. And that's actually quite fun. At first it was a bit scary, because your picture looks really strange at the beginning stages. It doesn't look like what, you know, you'd expect it to look like. It looks really messy, and yeah, it doesn't look so cool. But as you progress into the drawing, it really starts to take shape. Okay, so this is pretty much stage 2, where you've added some halftones, you've darkened some of the shadows that you've drawn already. Okay, and your picture should look something like this. Well, you can also darken some of the eyebrows a bit if you like. Alright, so how's that looking? Pretty freaky, huh? Okay. So for the next step, we're going to start paying more attention to detail. We're going to smooth things out. Right now, you know, all the strokes are just kind of messy, and it doesn't look so nice. So from here, we're going to sort of mold this into a face. And I'm going to show you how I did that. Now, up until now, I've been using the side of my pencil, and I'm still going to use that, but for certain parts, I'm going to use the tip of the pencil, and that's going to help us get a more smooth texture without blending it. So I'm using the tip of my pencil, and I'm doing the strokes very close together. Now what happens is if you do it too wide, I don't know, it just doesn't look so messy. I mean, it looks pretty messy. But if you bring those same strokes together closer, you draw each stroke close together, you get a pretty smooth looking texture. I hope this is recording properly on the video. I mean, I hope you can see this. But if you draw each stroke closer together with the tip of your pencil, you can get a pretty good texture, pretty smooth texture, which works well on the face. So that's what I'm doing here. And it's sort of smoothing it out. And so I'm going to do that I'm going to go over the whole face pretty much using the same technique, just using the tip. Again, I'm not getting really into detail here because that would take way too long, but I'm just showing you the basic steps and the basic technique that I use to do this, to draw this picture. Okay, and you may notice how I'm changing the direction of the strokes as I go down the face. That's also to sort of help suggest the curves of the cheek and the jawline, is sort of following that line, and with that I sort of change the direction of each stroke as I move along the face. Now for some of these sections, you may want to switch to a lighter pencil, a harder pencil. I used a 4H for some of the lighter tones. You can put pressure on without, worrying it'll be too dark. Now when I drew the original, I did everything a lot more detailed, and each stroke was a bit more planned. It was, but I'm just trying to show you the basic concept. So, okay, so this is the last stage where we're going to start paying attention to the details. You can start outlining the nose and different parts of the face. And the eyes, basic outline. The lips as well. Okay, from here we're going to start paying attention to detail. We can do the eyes now, finally. One important thing to remember when shading the skin, if you want to get to look smooth, you have to keep your strokes very close together. When there's white spaces in between each stroke, that's what makes it look sort of unfinished. In this drawing, well, you can see a lot of that because I haven't drawn this picture that detailed, but if you want it to look complete, then that's something to remember. Just make sure that each stroke is very close together, and make sure that you use a sharp pencil too. Okay, so that's basically how you do it. It's just that simple. Yeah, so of course this isn't perfect. I did this really quickly, but the concept's the same. Just when you do it for real, you just pay a bit more attention to details in the final stages. But that's how you shade a face with this technique. I'll show you again. This is original. If you look close up, you can see
each stroke that I did, and so it's very similar to what I just showed you when I drew this other picture, the quick sketch here. Of course, the other one's much more detailed, and I paid a lot more attention to the skin and everything, but the technique and the concept is still the same, so, you know, it worked really well, and I think you'll have a lot of fun trying it. So, thanks for watching. If you like more of these tutorials, I've got a lot more on my website, or you can check out my YouTube channel. Thanks again.